Hello everyone and welcome to the 114th episode of the Top 5 Weekly. Now for those of you that are new here, this is a series where I take a look at the most popular workshop creations on Steam, analyze each one's submissions and discover their features and finally I test them out here in the world of Stormworks. But before we get started, if you are enjoying my videos, don't forget that like and subscribe button, and while watching, let me know your thoughts in the comments below as always. So that all said, let's get straight into it and get started with this video. And starting off the first creation, we have the Stormworks Oil. Now this is a oil tanker, around medium-sized oil tanker that can hold around 6,000 liters of fuel. Now apparently it can go around 16 knots fully loaded, so expect it to go a little bit quicker once it's obviously emptied. Now along with that, looks like there's a bunch of cool features including an engine room inside there, so let's go and spawn in and see how it works in Stormworks. And spawning in this oil tanker, this looks pretty cool. I like the use of the colors here. The colors fit perfectly. Along with that, you can also see there's a little bit of rust going along here, and the creators just use some paint blocks for that, so that's really quite nice. You know, attention to detail is pretty cool. Looks like we got some water level lines there too, so it can go quite low in the water. Some working anchors probably. Big no smoking sign there. And then we just have the prop and the rudder here at the back. Okay, let's go and jump on this and see what else we have. So first off, looks like we've got a winch with two hoses. And we got pump in, pump out, and then we got the areas here for pumping in or pump out, so the actual connectors, which is quite nice. Along with that, just on the deck here, looks pretty straightforward. Just some nice detailing. It looks like we also got the anchors here, so you can see they've got some buttons on them. I don't think those buttons do anything yet. Maybe we control that from up in the bridge, possibly. Cool. Let's carry along and let's see what else we have. So around the back here, looks like nothing. A little staircase, a door to go in. We got some equipment in here. Very nice. And then we can move around here. Let's go inside this door and let's see what else we have. So it looks like just a little crew area. We've got some lights, so we'll get the lights on. Little kitchen. More, and then a seating area over there. Okay. We've also got an area where we can go down, so let's go down here. What do we have? So we've got firefighting equipment, some more general equipment, and looks like engine room. Yeah, okay, so engine room in there, and engine room lights too. Okay, so some nice big engines in here. Wow, those are some big engines. Okay, looks like we've got a water pump, we've got generator hatch, a little generator there, and then just the big engines. Very nice. Okay, let's go up. So what else do we have? I'm guessing engine room, control room? Yes. Okay, so we got some repair tools. Looks like we got some breakers in here, which are all on by default. And then we have the seats that we can get into and we can control this. So we got monitors, GPU, generator RPS. We got generator we can turn on if we want to. Okay, so that just runs generator. Engine control room lights. We can get the RPS up for that generator. Set target to 2, okay. So we'll set it to 2 then. Or 2 plus it, he says. Let's just set it up. Okay, we got main engine cooling fans, starters and pumps, so we'll get all that on. And then we have RPS control, so engine 1 starter, engine 2 starter. And let's get the RPS up to maybe like 5. Great, and those are all up and running now, which is perfect. And we can head up, I guess. So let's head up and let's go up to the next level. So we can go up here. And what do we have here? So we have an area to go out. We also have sleeping quarters in here. Okay, cool. Got to go out, and then we also have a bathroom. Very nice. Let's go and close that door. And let's carry on going up now. So, if I'm correct, this is the bridge. Yeah, and then what's up here though? Okay, so just like a little bit of an observation area where you can see all the equipment and things. Okay, let's go and jump back down. And let's go in here. So we've got a little compass also. Go into the bridge. And what do we have at the back? So we have fill and empty ballast. So let's fill the ballast, why not? We have nothing over here. And then we have flares, emergency beacons, and flares, okay? We've got passenger seat, passenger seat. Okay, so what does this guy have? Emergency stop, keyboard and kill switch, and then this one has keyboard, all engine room control. Okay, monitor switch. That looks like just a general monitor. We also got weather system there, and then we got the main helm. On the main helm, we've got propeller catch, right and left anchor. We've got reverse. We've got autopilot, superstructure lights, navigation lights, and spotlights. Okay, we've got foghorn, bridge lights, all engine room control keys, turn on again if shut down. Okay, so that would be if you don't want to go down to the engine room, you could do it from up here. We've also got propeller catch, and we're pretty much set to go. Nice, let's go and do that then. We should be moving forwards now. Yeah, you can see the speed there. Not bad. Look at that. Very smooth, very clean. Performance is doing quite well too. Those engines are just very slight. It's purring along there. How well does it turn? You can see the big rudder at the back there turning. Keeping nice and level too. And straighten up. Very nice. Very clean. Let's go and stop this. So we're going to get the clutch down. And we're going to test the anchors and see how the anchors work. So clutch fully down. So 0.3 on the clutch. And let's go and drop an anchor. So drop left anchor. So you can see that there in the front going and dropping. It's gone and turned on. And now it's going to go and drop down until I'm guessing it hits the ocean floor, which it should do in a few seconds there. Still dropping, and there we go. So the anchor is now gone and dropped. I don't see any notification saying that it has connected or anything, but yeah, it looks really cool. And obviously now we've got a anchor all connected, so we shouldn't really be going anywhere, which is quite nice. I guess we could undo it, and then what, does it start writing itself up now? Yes, it does. Look at that. That's really cool. I like that detail there. That's very nice detailing. Really, really nice and clean. But what a beautiful, beautiful, good-looking ship, and just performs really well and smoothly. Really good. Good job to the creator on this one. Let's go and move on to the next creation for the episode. And moving on to the next creation, we have the VC-55 Atlas. Now, this creation was apparently inspired by the Kamov Ka-22. Now, this is capable of both helicopter and horizontal flight, so pretty much a VTOL at the end of the day. Now, this has got quite a lot of features to it. Also has a huge flight manual PDF and MFD manual that you need to read apparently to fly this creation. So let's have a look at it and see how it works. And spawning in the next creation, you can see this is very interesting design to it. It's got a very wide body to it there. And then we have the wings with the propellers for forwards thrust, and then obviously we got the aircraft rotors, or the actual helicopter rotors at the top there. Looks like we got some fuel pylons on there too, refueling, some support struts, landing gear, and then also we got spotlights and looks like a radar underneath here. The cockpit, and what else do we have going around here? So let's have a little look. So we've got ground power, okay, so we can do ground power. We also have the back here, looks like a ramp, and then we also have the control surfaces. What do we have over here? So we've got the ramp panel, so we can go and actually control that. So we'll get some pressure on that, and then we can go and open or close the ramp. So for example, ramp open, and you can go and press that and it can go and open there. We can also do the door, which if I'm correct is at the top there. Let's just go and close that off. So pretty nice. Now I also think you can control this from the cockpit, if I'm correct. And let's go and close that. What else do we have along here? It looks like refueling, okay. And then we also have a door open. Now, if you are going to be testing this out, I definitely recommend you go and check out the PDF manual. It's, I think, a couple pages long. We'll tell you how to use this creation. So we've got a hoist here. We can go and hoist in and out, which is pretty cool. So you can see you can push that out and then you can bring it up and down, which is quite nice. Let's go and close that off, and we'll get the hatch or that closed there. So cockpit or actual interior here, looks like we've got some connectors there. We can connect to the actual hoist. We've got all this little crew cabin area here. Looks like we've got another winch here with some connectors and things and a hoist. Yep. We've got a hoist hatch, which is quite nice to see that. So you can just do that instead of putting the whole ramp down. And then we also got the ramp controls again over there. Nice. Whole bunch of equipment laid out through here. We've also got a restroom, okay, a little bit of a crew seating area, and then some beds. And then we have the flight deck. Okay, so we have a lot of the systems in here, and this is where I recommend definitely to go and check out the starting up guide, or just the guide in general. There's the MFDs along here, which is multifunction displays. We've got some HUDs all along here too, and then we've got like the main controls up here. So we're going to more or less start with following the procedures here. So we need to get the battery, we need to get the inverter on. Along with that, we need to test the FSD. Okay, so we'll test that out. And we'll start the APU with APU engage. Okay, so we'll get that all up and running. So we've got generators, APU. Cool, so the APU should be up and running. And then the MFDs look like they are getting all started. So you can see standby. Cool, and they are getting set up. Very nice. Cool. So we're waiting for all that up, and then we need to clear this warning that we've got here. So we'll clear that. Perfect. Nothing else there. Engage both the fuel systems. So we'll get the fuel boost systems on. Start the engines by using engine run. So we'll get that on there too. Everything else looks good. Arm the EPU with the EPU arm switch. Okay, so we've got the EPU arm there. Cool. What else do we need to do? Bring throttle up to about 100%. Disengage the APU. Okay, so I'm guessing that. We'll leave that on, sorry. I shouldn't have turned that inverter off. Okay, cool. So APU is currently off now, perfect, and arm the ejection seats, apparently. So we'll get those both armed, cool. So now we can obviously play around with a lot of the systems. We've got an alt hold system, looks like auto hover system. We've got the HUDs, which are these here, and we can also do night vision on them, which is pretty cool. So you can actually see in the dark. Looks like a radio system, and then we've got a whole bunch of lights and things. So we've got landing lights, we can enable ground power if we want to. Unfortunately, we have this thing above our head, which makes it a little bit hard to see. But that's perfectly fine. We've got, let's disable the HUD power, there we go. And then we've got strobe lights, nav lights, formation, beacon, and then something else here. Airdrop green, airdrop red. Okay, cool. Get back in our seat now. We can also get some lights inside here. So I remember correctly, we've got night lights. Okay. And then we also got cabin and cockpit lights. So we can get those all on red, for example, and then start both the front and the back. Pretty straightforward there. FRS arm for those, okay, we got flares we can launch, radio stuff, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. We've got forwards, throttle for the going forwards and backwards, and then we have these screens. So as I said, they're multi-function displays. So for example, you can click on the menu, and then you got, for example, radar, you got all these different kinds of things. You've got PFD, you've got engine stuff, and you can just pretty much choose what you want, which is quite nice on here. Cool, let's see how this thing flies. So we're gonna go a little bit up here. So you can see we're just going to go up. Very straightforward. By default, there is no auto hover. So you can enable that by clicking on auto hover over here. So it will then obviously just hover itself, which is quite nice. And we could, if we wanted to turn that off, we can go up a little bit. And then we can start to enable our forwards throttles. So for example, 1. And you can see the forwards throttle. And now we can start flying. Pretty straightforward there. And there we go. Now there is if we go back to the menu, there is also the map system. So you can set like an autopilot. Let's put the alt hold on. You can also set a waypoint system, so you can fly certain waypoints and things, which is quite nice. But yeah, it's got a lot of, I really like the cockpit. It's got a lot of systems in it, which is pretty cool. Obviously, there is a lot of starting up procedures and a lot of information that you need to follow before you try this, what I recommend at least. So yeah, it's really pretty cool. You can go really into depth about this and learn a lot about the actual vehicle here, which is quite nice. But lovely one, let's go ahead and let's move on to the next one for the episode. And moving on to the next creation, we have the UH-34 Choctaw. Now this is an American manufactured piston-engined military helicopter. Absolutely beautiful from what I can see here on the workshop. So let's go and spawn it and see how it works. And spawning in this creation, man, this looks absolutely beautiful. I love the look of this. Really, really nice. Absolutely gorgeous. Now it does look like we've got a lot of hatches and panels that go and open. It looks like a little bit of XL modding also on a few of these parts, but man, does it look absolutely gorgeous. So we've got a push button over here, another one over here. I think we need to get some electricity and stuff to get all these things to actually go and operate and work. But it looks like we also can fold the rotor at the or tail at the back. That's pretty cool. What else do we have here? So we've got a key switch, which is for cargo door, so that's to open that whole door over there. We've also got a refueling hatch to do some refueling. Cool. And so we've got some push buttons there. As I said, I don't think anything works just yet. I think we need to give some electricity for those things to open up. Jumping in the interior, man, that looks spot on. Really quite nice for the interior. Love the design in here. Heaters, cabin lights. Guess we need some electricity once again for all that. So here is the, so you can see here at the top there's a key button, which I'm guessing is to open and close that hatch. And then the same thing on this side. So let's go and do that. Oh, that's actually for the engine and some equipment. That's pretty cool. And then we've also got a circuit breaker. I don't know if that circuit breaker actually does anything. Now let's go and jump inside here. So can we just jump? There we go. So what was that? Was that co-pilot? Okay, so let's get in the pilot seat. Now we've got a whole bunch of things going on. Engine, throttle, screens, oil dilutes. Really quite cool. And a whole bunch of switches, anti-ice, RPM, battery, power. Okay, so we need to get a few of these things on here. So we need to get main engine power, cargo bay power, and battery. Okay, so we've got that. Main engine, cool, and cargo bay power. So we've got all those on. Set the throttle to max. So where is our throttle? There we go. Cool. Turn on the tail rotor clutch. So tail rotor clutch is on. Perfect. We also need to turn the valve cut off and fuel injectors. Okay, so fuel injectors and valve cut off. Perfect. We got that. Hold the engine primer for about 5 seconds. So engine primer. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn the crawl flaps on. Cool, we've got that on too. Fantastic. Okay, hold the starter motor for about 3 seconds. Okay, so we're holding that for about 3 seconds. Turn on the starter clutch. So starter clutch, there we go. Okay, when the indicator light comes on saying disable the cutoff valve, then turn the cutoff valve off. Okay. We're gonna wait at the moment. Wonder if we need to hold that starter a little bit more. There we go. There we go. And now we can disable the cutoff valve. Cool. Seems like we are turning a little bit, so I'm gonna just counter that. Great. Okay, turn on gen clutch. So there we go. So gen clutch is on now. Perfect. Look at that. Very nice. Emergency battery, pitch limiter, roll limiter, anti-ice systems. Looks like we've got oil dilute systems, mute alarm, cockpit heater, push to talk, and this is for the window if I'm correct. Throttle, yeah, pretty straightforward actually. I didn't see anything about waypoints, so we got some lights here. We'll get all those on. Yeah, I didn't see any autopilot systems, if I'm correct. Yeah, just have the roll and pitch limiters there. But so far, really nice. Let's go and get this up in the air. Super smooth. That. Spot on. Beautiful. Great, let's go and see how this thing flies. Really cool. It seems very realistic in terms of the flight here. Doesn't seem like it's anything fake. Really cool. A little bit sensitive on the tail rotor, but that's perfectly fine. You get used to it, I guess, after a while. You can also limit these things like the roll limiter and the pitch limiter, so that would just limit how much we can roll and how much we can pitch forward. So if we do that, that means that we can now hold S and, for example, W, just gonna fly. Now we do end up, tail rotor seems to pull us a little bit to the left and right there, but yeah, we can just fly. That's awesome. And you can obviously see if we take that limiter off, we're getting the nose should probably drop a little bit more in comparison. Let's try again. No, the nose pretty much stays like it is. Probably a little bit more. But man, that's nice. I really like this helicopter. It's really cool. As I said, the tail rotor seems to sometimes just wiggle a bit. But I think that's just obviously how it is here in Stormworks. But yeah, really nice one. I like this one. And you can, as you see, you can fold the tail rotor as we said earlier on. It's a beautiful creation, really nice. Definitely go check this one out. Let's go ahead, let's move on to the next one for the episode. And moving on to the next creation, we have the RAF 200 class Seaplane Tender. Now, this was meant to be used as a tender that would transfer crew, provisions, munitions to land, as actual seaplanes couldn't really get there. Now, this was built in Stormworks to be a fast, small boat to support seaplanes, also used for search and rescue missions, transport passengers, fire targeting missions, and on top of that, it can also be remote controlled, which means you can be in another creation and then control this too. So pretty cool. So let's go and spawn it and see how it works. And spawning in the boat, you can see this thing is really small, absolutely tiny. But man, does it look good. I love the shape of the hull. The crate's done a great job using the wedge blocks for that. Let's go and jump on it. Let's see what we have. So we've got tons of seats here. Now, if I'm correct, this is also Stormlink compatible, so that's why these have seat numbers. Cool. Got a little service hatch in here. So what is in here? Okay, so we can actually come down and have a look at the engines. So the crate is using some modular engines. Very good. We've got some lights. We've got some bilge pumps on here, so we can drain this if we need to. And we've got another hatch which goes into the main area there. So we'll come back to that in a few minutes. Let's go and jump out of this. Nice. Looks like we've got a little winch there. What else do we have? Some equipment, refueling, recharging, and then all the equipment at the top. Let's go through the hatch here. And what do we have in here? So it looks like we've got some equipment. Very good. We got a light that we can turn on. I like the flooring. Really nice. Fire fountain equipment. Oh wow, we've got tons of equipment. Have a look at all the... Wow. That's cool. I like that. It's a nice way of hiding it. In here we got some more equipment. We've got a little hatch we can get in and out. We got an option to lock the hatch. Another seat. Heater. More equipment. Another area here which has got bilge pump and little lights in here and a bed. Wow, that's pretty cool. We've got our electric propulsion mode. Okay, we've got throttle. We got the frequency for the remote controller, main battery, and then reserve battery, and then just a little bit of information. Very nice. Starting procedure: make sure the battery's on. Didn't see an option, so I'm guessing that is just for the battery over there, so we don't really need to do anything. Jump in here, and apparently 2 for engines. Pretty straightforward. So we've got high torque mode, we've got fluid cannon. Okay, wow. Wasn't expecting really to see a fluid cannon on there. That's nice. We've got spotlights, nav lights, we'll get those on there. Can do up and down with this. Very straightforward. Nice. Okay, and then to go forwards, just increase throttle. So W. And that's beautiful. Look how quick this thing is going. Wow. That is really cool. It's almost flying. Pretty much flying. Let's go and just get the throttle down on this. That's really nice and smooth. So high torque mode. So that would be, I'm guessing then, for towing things. Turn that off. Yeah, really nice. This thing can go pretty quick. So throttle 0 to 5 idle. We got 5 to 20 is normal. 20 to 30 emergency, and then 30 to 40 high torque mode. Okay. So we go forwards. You can see there's like high torque mode. Okay. Press 3. And that's high torque enabled then. Cool. Let's go and turn that high torque mode off. High temperature, so then auto reduces the throttle for you. Very smart. Turned really well too. Look how stable that is. That's spot on. Really good job with that. Interesting to see how this thing handles waves. So let's put some waves on. We're not going to put hectic waves. Let's do about 50% waves. And we'll see how... Yeah? I'm going to lower the throttle a bit, but that's spot on. Really good job. Seems like the throttle is lowering itself, so it's not just automatically spinning up once it jumps out the water too. Beautiful. Really, really nice. Great job to the creator for this one. Let's go ahead, let's move on to the last one for the episode. And moving on to the last creation for the episode, we have the RP-10V Ceres. Now, this is meant to be a long-range maritime patrol and amphibious aircraft. It's got a lot of features in there, including a MFD system, 400km range, 200 knot top speed. So pretty cool. So let's go and spawn this in and see how it works. And spawning in the last creation, you can see this looks very interesting. Definitely reminds me of like a bomber design to it, but you can see we've got a little bit of a point up here. I'm guessing maybe radar systems are inside there. We've got the cockpit, looks like some cameras and radars and radios and things in the front. Whole bunch of paint blocks on the side there. Looks like we've also got a hatch to get in and out. Some jet intakes and big landing gear. Very interesting. Now this thing does go in the water, so I'm guessing these are the side floats. Or just supports at least. Exhaust there. Go around the back here. Don't think there is anything else here. I don't see any hatches or anything here at the back. Seems like, yeah, not really any hatches. Very nice though. Cool, let's go and jump inside. Let's see what's going on. So, hatch here. We can jump up in here and close that hatch. Go into this area. We have some lights. Some detailing for like a stove and things. We've got some bedding. A ladder to go up to a hatch to the top of the plane. Through here. Crouch. Go through. We've got some seating. Got lights. Medical bed. Some medical equipment. We've also got a signal jammer. Okay, very interesting. And then that's about it really. Okay, let's go through and then we've got a ladder to go up into the cockpit. So let's get into the cockpits. Let's close that door. We got some parachutes, some equipment, and then we got the main cockpit with a pilot and co-pilot seat. So we've got these MFDs. We've got landing gear, throttle, caution resets, autopilots, all of our different lights. We've got wipers in the front, that's pretty cool. Strobe lights, formation lights, nav lights, taxi lights, landing lights, fuel pumps, avionics. What else do we have? Landing gear, flaps up and down. Autopilot, you can see the MFDs are starting to turn on there. We've also got lights that we can strobe through. We've got our different engines. We've got our throttle. Cool. Now apparently there's also, there's a taxi mode here that you can go and enable. I'm gonna give some throttle to this. We've got a taxi mode here, so we can go and do some taxiing, which I'm guessing just enables that in the front, so you can actually go and turn left and right using your steering. I could be wrong though. Also got master caution. I'm guessing RPS is too low, so that's probably why. So we could, in theory, just reset that if we wanted to. Let's get the flaps down for takeoff. I'm guessing, which flaps are they though? Not too sure which ones those are, but we'll get them down in any case. Cool, so I'm guessing we're building up. Now we could go to the MFD, I think, and have a look at our engine information. So you can see throttle 14 and you got your RPM. I get throttle up a bit. Don't want to move too far forwards. And let's just reset the cautions there. Cool, now I think Creator did say about 30 for taxiing, if I'm correct. So we can use 30 for taxi. So we could just go in here. Now W and S, it says pitch taxi mode, forwards reverse. Interesting. So W is then for taxiing. Okay. That's in taxi mode, I'm guessing. That's very interesting. And then left and right. Can you use left and right? In taxi mode? No, that's left and right for here in taxi mode. Okay, that's very cool. Let's go and slow ourselves down a bit. I'm guessing maybe it's like electrical engines or something. Yeah, electrical motors there on the landing gear. Let's go and get our taxi mode off, and we'll get throttle up, and then we'll take off really. I think we're pretty much set. So let's do full throttle up. This thing is quick. Wow. Okay, and then we're up in the air. Very straightforwards. Nice and smooth. Let's get our landing gear up. So that would be, well, let's do flaps up first, then landing gear. Okay, so landing gear goes and folds away. Very smooth there. And we also have the autopilot system. Now, I think we can enter in the autopilot system here. But let's just do autopilot without any waypoints, because then that should just be alt hold. Yep, there we go. Cool. And then we can use the up and down to go up 20 meters, etc. You can just hold that for a bit, and I guess it will just go up. Very nice. Very smooth. Very, very smooth. I like that. Cool. What else do we really have inside here? So we've got the MFDs that I said earlier on. We can check out a lot of things for those. We can go to the map, etc. Look at the waypoint system, etc. like that, which is pretty cool. Flaps, landing gear. We've got all of our lights and things. We can get wipers on. Yeah, so just overall really nice, very easy, very smooth thing to get up, set up and work with. I want to see how this thing can actually do some water landings. Now, water landing, probably set altitude, set autopilot to 5 meters. Okay. So we need to set that to about 5 meters apparently. Okay, which is quite interesting. Along with that, wait for the plane to descend less than 10 meters, reduce throttle to idle. Okay. So let's go and set that down then. Yeah, so we'll just keep on going down. Ooh. Let's go back, let's get our PFD. Cool. Fantastic, you can see we're starting to get quite nice and low here. Get that down a little more. Cool. What is it currently at the moment? About 12. Okay, so we're waiting for that. Let's get it down. I don't want to decrease it anymore. So let's just start decreasing our throttle. Okay. Reduce throttle to idle and allow the plane to sit. So we reduce throttle. And just like that, we're in the water. Very easy. Very smooth. You can see the wings have kind of gone a little bent a little bit to keep it quite level there, which is quite smart. Very nice. And then for takeoff, increase the throttle and then pull the elevation back. So we can go and do that. Take the autopilot off. I don't know why we've got warnings. Maybe I left something open. I don't think I did. Go and reset that. Okay, let's get our throttle up to max. Increase throttle. And then once we've got a decent speed, then we just go and pull back. Like that. And there we go. Now we're out of the water. Very, very smooth. Autopilot back on. And there we are. Very smooth. Very, very nice. I like it. Very cool. Seems like we also got air-to-air refueling over there. So you can do air-to-air refueling. Now, if I'm correct, there's nothing actually in the back of this, because I didn't see any hatches or anything to go in the back. I'm guessing there's nothing in the back. Yeah, you can see there's... Doesn't look like, just some motors and some water jets inside there and a few other things, and then the rest of the stuff we've already checked out. So yeah, lovely creation to end this episode off with. As always guys, if you want to check out any of the creations that we have looked at in this episode, I do leave links in the video description below, so you can go and check them out, show some love to the creators, and go and just play around with them in Stormworks. So that's it for this episode. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you have, smash that like button. Also don't forget to hit that little subscribe button. If you don't want to miss any of my future content, hit that bell icon. And until next week, we will see you then.